Hey guys, meet Louie. Louie, meet YouTube. How are you guys? Dr. Sloan here. As you can see, this is a little bit different setup, quite a bit different setup. This is my natural habitat. This is my natural environment. I'm at home this evening, and Alabama decided to actually have a winter today, and so it dropped, like temperatures dropped big time. So I'm getting one, maybe, hopefully my last, one more use out of our fireplace this season. So I'm like curled up on the ground in front of the fireplace in my sweats and stuff. So I'm super casual, comfortable. I hope that's okay with y'all. I wanted to bring you guys a little insight on something that I recommend for all of my gymnasts, and that is bone broth. So bone broth is a great recovery tool that gymnasts can use post-practice to help them get ready for their next day or their next meet. You got to think, why is it important to recover and recover better? And that's so that we can practice really hard one day, maintain that the next day and the next day, and we build, right? If we're taking 3 steps forward and 2 steps back because we're too sore the next day or we feel like we can't push through, we're not going to progress quite as far, right? Recovery is also really important for injury reduction, right? The less sore we are, the less hesitant we'll be, and so bone broth is a really great recovery tool. So I'm going to explain why I think it's a great recovery tool, and I'm going to touch on a few key topics or key areas. And the first one of that is bone broth has a great source of amino acids. So amino acids are our body's building blocks for tissue. So say we go through a practice and we're damaging tissue, whether you are as safe as can be and you're not in any pain at all. If you're working hard, you're pushing through a full gymnastics practice, you're going to have some sort of damage to tissue, whether that, and when I say tissue, that's going to be muscle, ligaments, tendon, even bone. And the way that we get stronger is by testing that tissue, right? Like kind of pushing it to its limit, recover it, and then it is stronger, right? Like bone gets stronger by force. Tendons get stronger by applied force. That's why if we have a tendon issue, we don't want to take full rest off, because if we take that force away, it's not getting stronger. Okay, so amino acids are within bone broth, and there are building blocks to recover or repair that tissue. So we go through practice, we tear ourselves down, we want to build ourselves back up. Now, your diet should be full of amino acids, so it's not like bone broth is your only source of amino acids, but most of our diets could be a bit better, let's be honest, right? And so bone broth just is a little extra source. So some important amino acids that's going to be inside bone broth, we're going to have arginine, glycine, glutamine, proline, and these are really integral amino acids that are integral for tendon health, muscle health, and whatnot, and also something called our gut health, which I'm going to get to in a second. So the next thing that bone broth is really great for is decreasing inflammation. So a lot of bone broths are going to have some additives to it. So in the broth, they're going to add things like ginger root or turmeric or cinnamon, black pepper, rosemary, like these herbs that are super anti-inflammatory, you know, kind of buzzwords right now, ginger and turmeric. But in a broth, we're going to add those into it, and all those cumulative effects to our body is going to help decrease inflammation, which sounds pretty stinking awesome if you're a gymnast. I treat many gymnasts within the office and outside the office, and the amount of anti-inflammatories that are consumed is pretty incredible. I remember back when I was a gymnast, it was like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen was a pretty normal dosage a few times a day. So if we can give ourselves another tool to aid in inflammation, why not, right? So a lot of bone broths, even if you, like say you make your own, you can add in ginger, turmeric, garlic, cinnamon, rosemary, all these things that are kind of these natural anti-inflammatory agents, all right? The next thing is bone broth is super healthy for our gut. Now, why is that important for a gymnast? Well, our immune system is really housed in our gut, and that's how we fight off infections and colds and whatnot. And so right now we're in the middle of season. In fact, a ton of my girls have state this week, and Alabama State is coming up this weekend. So good luck. Shout out to my girls. You're going to do awesome. So this is an important time. Like, we can't get sick, right? We start getting a little sniffle the winter time. Like the reason I got my fireplace on behind me, right? We're cold. It's this big like flu season, quote unquote season. So we want our immune system to be as tip-top shape as possible. And so as we repair our gut lining, again, our diet's not the best out there, so we probably are intaking a lot of allergens and things that are maybe harsh on our gut. And when I say gut, I mean small intestine. And so we damage it, and within that damage, we lose our ability to absorb nutrients. We hold a little inflammation. We're not creating our immune cells the way that we're supposed to. We're also not creating our feel-good hormones quite as well. So attitude comes from our gut as well. So bone broth helps heal the gut. So we're giving ourselves essential amino acids. We're reducing inflammation. We're healing our gut, right? These all sound really great. And then the fourth thing is this a great source of collagen and gelatin. Now this kind of goes back to that amino acid thing. Collagen and gelatin, when they break down, collagen is collagen is our most abundant protein within our tissue, like our muscles, our tendons, and whatnot, and basically connective tissue. And so when we break down collagen, it breaks down in those amino acids. Now we're going to be able to take those amino acids and build them back up to become more collagen. Makes our collagen a little bit stronger. It's like fortifying your troops, or fortifying, is that right? Fortifying troops, fortifying a building. You make it stronger. What I like to say, bulletproofing. Okay. And then the last great thing about bone broth is it's a small source of some calcium, magnesium, K, phosphorus, and some other really great electrolytes. And like I said, diet may be a little bit, could be a little sharper. So let's get all the help that we can get. So we're going to get some more calcium. Magnesium is going to feel great on some sore muscles. Phosphorus and K, also really important. And then after we go through practice, you hear refuel, drink water, you're losing a ton of electrolytes because we're sweating. And one of the biggest mistakes we can do is just drinking water, right? I know a lot of people will drink Gatorade out there. I'm going to come to you with another source of electrolytes other than just bone broth, but I'd rather us put the Gatorade down and pick up something else, something like Scratch. And I'm going to do a whole video on why I think Scratch is what you should go for and what you should be filling your water bottles with. But we need to replenish those electrolytes. You can get that within the bone broth. Bone broth is going to be a little salty, so you can replenish that right after practice. So what I recommend with these bone broth is take it with you to gym. Maybe you guys have a fridge or something, and you can put it in the fridge, and then warm it up after practice. Most places have a microwave. If not, you can drink it cold, or you can make something happen. But drink your bone broth immediately after practice, say on the car ride home. It'll give you a little boost. It'll hold you over till dinner time. And right now, since it's so cold outside, it can be like your soup after practice. It'll be nice. It'll be nice and warming. But just drink about a cup of it. And so the bone broth that I drink is the Epic brand, and I really like this kind. The home-style savory chicken. It just kind of tastes like chicken noodle soup with all the stuff, without all the stuff in it. So I'll tell you, at first I was like, I didn't know how I felt about it because I'm drinking broth. It just seemed kind of weird at first. So you might have to get kind of through that. But if you just think of it as soup, it's not a big deal. I really like it now. And so Epic brand, they sell it like Sprouts here in Birmingham. They have it right by the eggs. So it's in the refrigerated section. And I'm not adventurous enough yet to make my own bone broth yet, but I know plenty of people that do. There's so many recipes out there on the internet, and you simmer stuff for 24 or 48 hours, and you can make this wonderful bone broth that's A, much more cost effective, and then B, you can start adding in those other great things like the ginger and the turmeric and the black pepper and whatnot, so those anti-inflammatory agents within it. But I believe, let's see. Yeah, so they have in the Epic brand ones, you see that? They have some additives. So when I say additives, not bad additives, great additives. So it's water, organic chicken, onions, garlic, so garlic, anti-inflammatory, celery, carrots, sea salt, turmeric, potato, lactic acid, rosemary, anti-inflammatory, and then apple cider vinegar, which is great as well. So this is kind of a go-to, and you just drink a cup of it after the practice. If you make your own, awesome. Please share with me your recipe. There's another great source of bone broth that I've recently discovered and I just love. It's called pho, I believe. I butcher that. I know everyone calls it pho. Thanks to my friend Ashley, I've now learned that it is pho, and I have confirmed that at Pho 280, which I love. And they make their own bone broth. So it's like this kind of this rice noodle soup, and they make their own bone broth here in Birmingham at a couple of the local locations. And they add in all this amazing stuff, like all the anti-inflammatory stuff that I've told you about, and it simmers. And so I get that broth, and then I'll use that kind of throughout the week, and that's a little bit more cost effective than the Epic, but I love the Epic as well. So I challenge you guys to add this into your routine, right? We stretch, we condition, we train events, we train routines, we train our mind, we're doing our prehab, like we're doing all these things to make ourselves better. And what if you could just do one more thing that you might even enjoy that's gonna make you even better, right? My big thing is let's reduce the variables that affect our performance. So if recovery is one of those variables, let's make that recovery bulletproof. All right, the next topic on recovery is gonna be sleeping. And that's gonna be a hard one for people, like a hard pill to swallow, but we're gonna talk about that next week. And next week I wanna hear some input on how your bone broth recovery has been over the last week. All right, if you guys have any questions at all, please comment below, like this video, subscribe. I hope to get more content out to you guys a little bit quicker. Next week, like I said, it's gonna be about sleep, and it's gonna be eye-opening. Is that a pun? That's not a pun. But it's about sleep, but it's gonna be eye-opening. So I'll see you guys next week.